Brandon Cummings getting an earful from assistant coach Jason Capel, another former broadcasting colleague of ours. Pitt and Georgia Tech, both frustrated teams. Which one can channel that frustration into playing good basketball tonight? Brian O'Connell, Tony Chiazza, and Matt Parter are your officials. And DeMarco Minor will set up the Pittsburgh offense. Pittsburgh 7-9, 0-3 in the ACC. Neither coach has been happy with the way their teams have started games lately. Can that change tonight for one or the other, or both?
With Georgia Tech in the man-to-man, and Pitt missed Cialeppa wide open on the inside.
Speaking of missing, Barry Dunning Jr. misfires from 3. Georgia Tech starting 5, no Mo Sela tonight. He went through shoot-around gingerly. He's got the boot on his foot, so Jaden Mustaf makes his 10th start. And that was awkward, and it was a travel. And Baidungo turns it over.
Well, it was really only 3 steps, so I mean, NBA, that's a good play.
Jeff Capel starting 5 today, chooses to keep Brandon Cummings coming off the bench after the 29-point game on Saturday. Minor, Witherspoon, Dunning, Corhen, and the Australian Cialeppa. And we trade travels in the opening 64 seconds.
Well, that's why you want your big guys to play inside. You don't want your big guys dribbling the ball out on the perimeter. And speaking of big guys, Corhen has to stay out of foul trouble. Pitt is not very deep at all, and Corhen is the one guy they can't afford to get in any kind of foul trouble at all.
When you watch these two teams play, you see how much of a struggle it is just to get. There's a good one. That's what you want.
Going baseline.
Just as I start to say that, he makes a great play and just dunks on everybody.
The freshman from Marietta announcing his presence on a Wednesday night. He had seen enough hesitation. Corhen straight away, comes up short. Mustaf bobbles the rebound, but secures it.
Now Corhen can actually shoot that 3.
Fleming looking inside, his pass disrupted and stolen. Cialeppa knocks down the triple.
When you struggle to score, that's what you want to do. Get it down the court and get a really good shot that way.
Georgia Tech really struggled with turnovers against Miami.
Baseline jumper, no good. Here comes the freshman Amari Witherspoon. Sets up Minor. Minor, nice move off the dribble, shoots, and hits the 3 over Reeves.
Good defense, but a little better offense.
But Pitt was able to get that defensive rebound and get down the court quickly. So it's like you were talking about, Jim, you wanted to play before the defense gets set.
Reeves can't answer, and last touch by Pitt out of bounds. Pitt has shot threes well in the first halves of games recently, but they've really struggled in the second halves.
Really struggled.
It's just good ball movement. The defense can't react back in time. And this is, Reeves just gets caught with the dribble. He's worried about Minor driving past him. That's really a good shot and a tough shot.
Here are those numbers in ACC play. Shooting 42% from 3 in the first halves, 4 of 37, 11% in the second half of games. They've blown some leads. They've had a lead, Pitt has, in 2 of their 3 ACC games at the half. Couple misses for Georgia Tech, and here come the Panthers. Bullet pass inside, tough catch, and Corhen able to finish for 2.
They've had that Dan inside a couple times. They found him that time.
Well, he did a great job running the court.
Corhen coming off a 40-minute game. He's 3rd in the league in minutes. Dongo cannot finish. Corhen the rebound. Pitt looking to run. Corhen fills the lane. Timeout, Damon Stoudemire.
3 of their baskets in transition, that's where they score.
Well, Jeff Capel's team statistically plays slow, but he says he wants them to get out and run. Cam Corhen, obliging. 10-0 run for the Panthers. In its last 2 trips to McCamish Pavilion, they're hoping to get off the ACC schneid tonight. 10-0 run in the last 139. Cam Corhen leading the break.
Well, you know one thing about basketball, it's runs, and Pitt's got their run. And, you know, Georgia Tech has to answer now, and the best way you can answer is to get the ball down the court just as Pitt just did.
But Pitt had the big 20-0 run against Miami in their game down in Coral Gables, and they weren't able to maintain that lead. So the run is good. Now you have to build on the run if you're Pitt, and if you're Georgia Tech, you got to get into it.
Yellow Jackets just 1 for 6. Got a couple offensive rebounds, but don't have any second chance points to show for it.
Well, Pitt, that time at Cialepa, that's a really nice job. He knocked it off Dongo out of bounds.
Yeah, the ruling is Pitt ball.
Yes, and that's the correct ruling.
They got one right. Holy cow. Close one.
But Pitt has played very hard defensively. They have contested Georgia Tech's shot, and they've gotten some easy ones on the offensive end. That's a pretty good formula.
Miner brings it back outside. Brandon Cummings coming off the 29-point game against Cuse. Offensive rebound, Roman Cialepa. There's a second chance bucket.
Well, you got to be able to squeeze that defensive rebound, and Georgia Tech just couldn't do it.
Georgia Tech stays cold. Cialepa has the miss.
But that's a long contested 3 early in the shot clock. I don't think at this point in the game that's really what you need if you're the Yellow Jackets.
Cam Kraft and Chaz Kelly, the first Yellow Jackets off the bench for Damon Stoudemire tonight. Acrobatic move. Cummings unable to finish. Kraft the rebound. And here comes Kwesi Reeves. Sets up Washington. He'll take it.
They needed him.
Still counts the same.
Cummings has missed 2 really difficult shots that he made the last game, so see how his confidence goes now.
But you miss a shot like that, that allows the opponent to get out and go. And not only was he laying on the floor for a while, he spent some time yelling at the referee, and that left Washington wide open.
And that does you no good.
Shot clock's winding down. Pitt's got 4 to shoot. Corhen from the elbow. Offensive rebound. Dunning, and he'll reset the show for the Pitt Panthers. Nice move off the dribble. Barry Dunning Jr.
Pitt just looks so much more confident, so much stronger right now.
Another kind of possession where there's no rhythm for Georgia Tech.
Well, the ball's got to move.
Moving for Pittsburgh. Corhen's got 6.
I'll tell you what's moving for Pittsburgh is Corhen.
Dan Bonner, you almost got a Panther in your lap.
No, that was a great save by Jeff Capel. He grabbed him and prevented him from coming over here on the table and injuring the 2 old guys.
And the 2 old guys weren't even moving yet. That's how slow their reactions were.
This is Pitt out and running, and they're doing a really good job thus far.
I'm not sure if they qualify your seated spot here as a legal guarding position. Reeves sets up Marshall in off the Georgia Tech bench. Washington can't make it 2 in a row. Second chance here. Kelly straight away. 3.
Every time you tip it out for the other team, they make a 3. You don't want to tip that ball out. You want to get a piece of it. Bring it down.
Little teardrop goes for Brandon Cummings.
You get the idea that Cummings has some confidence in his offensive game.
What makes you say that?
Percent. He could be 3 for 3. He missed 2, but they were really close and good shots.
Marshall traveled.
The ball is just not moving on the offensive end for Georgia Tech. There's one dribble and you make a tough pass, or one dribble and you shoot, or a guy dribbles around and shoots. And Georgia Tech's got to get the ball moving, got to get players moving.
They got to try to get a stop so they can get out and get down the court.
4 turnovers already for the Yellow Jackets. Damon Stoudemire's face told the story. Noyes Indrusitis, a guy who's been struggling offensively, and he traveled.
That's what happens when one guy dribbles the ball for 8 to 10 seconds and has nothing, and then still trying to go.
Indrusitis is a guy who they were hoping would provide a little spark off the bench for them, but Indrusitis has not made any shots at all in ACC play. He's 0 for the ACC so far. Field goals, 3-point field goals, free throws. They could really use some offense from him.
Washington over 2 defenders. Tip from Marshall will not fall. Another chance for the 7-footer. And Pittsburgh clears it.
There he goes.
Yeah, Cummings is crafty. Got it back and then lost it again.
He's talking to the ref still, and here they are.
Washington
Georgia Tech
at the
is
other end.
coming down to score.
That's 3 missed layups in the last 3 shots. We get a foul going against Barry Dunning Jr. We get ourselves a timeout. 8 minutes gone, intensity's high.
Panthers coming in, struggling a bit on offense, but one of the ways you resolve those struggles is to get out in transition before the defense can get set. Here they get set up, get an easy three-point shot, another transition play. Corhen has been fabulous on the inside, and here he is running again. The Panthers have 10 points in the lane, and that's the kind of play they've been getting.
That's where you get the easy shots when you're struggling half-court offense like Georgia Tech is, but I'm not sure Georgia Tech can get out more. They just don't get enough, make enough defensive plays to get out there and run.
In 3 ACC games, only 6 Pitt Panthers have scored. Now, 5 players have already scored tonight.
Well, they only play 8 guys.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard for those other guys to score because they haven't taken a shot yet, so it's difficult.
And Georgia Tech finds some rhythm on offense.
That does work. It's kind of a busted play, but it did work.
Well, that ball sort of went by 2 or 3 Panthers in the lane. They couldn't pick it up.
Yeah.
And how many times, Jim, does that happen? You miss one, and then the other guys go and get it.
Yeah, and they score.
Loud 2 for Kwesi Reeves Jr. Indricitis. Unable to find the range.
Can't break through.
I thought it was going in. Marshall.
That's really good interior defense without fouling.
Uh-oh, Cialeppa. Oh!
Big guy lost his man.
It's a heck of an offensive rebound at midcourt for Indricitis.
I thought that ball was going in the first row.
Indricitis comes up short again. He's not bashful, though, looking for his offense. Chaz Kelly III. Can't cash in the 3. Mullen the rebound, the 7-foot freshman.
And Mullen's got some important minutes to play because you can't play Corhen for 40 minutes every game like you did in the last game.
Pull-up jumper won't fall for Dunning. Reeves going baseline, bumped on the way, and then turns it over, and then Pittsburgh turns it over right back. Cam Kraft for 3. Another rebound for the freshman Mullen.
That was a pinball play, wasn't it?
Well, you got to grab the ball. Everybody's trying to dribble it. Grab it first.
When was the last time you went to an arcade and played some pinball, Jim?
2 days ago, I had one in my basement, Sopranos pinball machine. I got you there.
That's fantastic. Barry Dunning knocks down the 3, but I'd love to hear more about your home arcade.
Really cool. When Julie doesn't want to talk to me, she sends me down there, which is frequent.
Kraft finds the range and knocks down the 3.
That's what Kraft does. He has struggled a little bit recently shooting the 3, but he's a pretty good three-point shooter.
In the starting lineup for much of the season, this is his 5th straight game coming off the bench.
Zone.
Georgia Tech in his zone, yeah.
Zone look, I like it. I recognize that right away.
Of course you do.
Indricitis is the zone buster.
That's
Who had
it.
that?
That's it. That's why you can't play zone anymore. Some guy who hasn't scored all year in the league makes a 3.
Now, would you tell Damon Stoudemire, don't lose confidence, stay in it? He's not going to make 2 in a row?
I would, but hard for coaches that play man-to-man to do that.
Peyton Marshall finally throws it down.
See, that was a mistake by Mullen going for the steal. He's got to just play between Marshall and the basket. Marshall's not really a good ball handler or an outside shooter.
Cummings shakes his defender. Here's Dunning. He's fouled. A mistake from DeMarco Minor.
Think of all the plays in basketball. One or two is fouling the three-point shooter, especially a guy that's not that good a three-point shooter. You know, what are you doing?
This is what you're talking about. And it's hard because you're jumping up in the air, but you're not going straight up. You're jumping at the guy, and it's just hard to stop.
Dunning Jr. at the line for 3. Barry Dunning, one of 3 players playing in this game tonight that scored over 40 points in a conference game last year. Dunning did it 46 for South Alabama against Texas State. Lamar Washington hung 40 on, against Washington State. Cam Kraft did it as well. Coming up next, our triple header rolls on. Maples Pavilion with the Cardinal hosting Caleb Wilson at number 14 North Carolina with Roxy Bernstein and Miles Simon. And we'll cap off the night with a Wooden Award frontrunner Cameron Boozer leading 6th-ranked Duke against Cal at Haas Pavilion. Both games on the network and on the ESPN app. Wes Durham and 3D Dennis Scott, Georgia Tech legend, are out in Berkeley for the nightcap. Late night for Wes and Dennis.
Great basketball games. Cal and Stanford are better this year. It'll be good games. And there's some great freshmen in college basketball right now.
We saw Buka Corey for Stanford last Wednesday night. What a special player he is.
He had
Good luck to the Tar Heels guarding him.
Good luck to the Cardinals guarding Caleb Wilson.
Well, yeah, okay, you got me there.
It's amazing to see the quality freshmen this year. There's 4 or 5 guys that could easily be the #1 pick, the #1 pick in the draft.
And it's going to be an interesting couple of months headed toward March. We're going to time out with Pittsburgh leading by a dozen in Atlanta. We take you in the time machine to December 4th, 1989. Dennis Scott. He'll be on these airwaves later tonight, so we're giving him some love, and we apologize to Pittsburgh fans. Yes, Bobby Cremins, the game was over. The 18th ranked Yellow Jackets over the 22nd ranked Pitt, 93-92.
Dennis Scott could shoot from anywhere on the court. And he loved going to Duke and warm up before the game, and he would make threes from half court, and the Duke fans are booing him, and then he'd make them in the game and give him a little sign.
They'd still boo him.
And he'd give him a little sign.
Dongo has been quiet so far. Maybe even silent would be a better term. He misses his first shot right there.
Pittsburgh's doing a really good job defensively on him inside, or Georgia Tech's not getting the ball, combination of.
Back to the man-to-man.
Cummings, another teardrop. He's got that shot down.
I mean, he's really good at that, and he's really clever of getting by. He's very sneaky. He's right by you.
Largest lead for the Panthers, and it might grow here in transition. Minor tosses it up. Corhan lays it in.
That's great positioning by Corhan, but Minor makes a really good play. He had a chance to take it all the way and flipped it up to his big guy.
7 straight for Pitt. Kraft able to squelch the run.
Kraft has made some contributions off the bench, and Georgia Tech really looking for offense.
Even after that make, Georgia Tech still shooting below 30%. Pitt's got a lot of guys that like to attack downhill off the dribble. Indricitis pull up. He was fouled by Kraft. Damon Stoudemire with a look on his face like you just fouled a guy who hadn't made a shot in ACC play before a few minutes ago.
Yeah, you don't want to foul jump shooters or three-point shooters.
A nice job defensively to make him pull up, because Pitt really does like to take the ball and get to the basket.
First foul on Lamar Washington. Noyes Indricitis played 89 minutes at Iowa State last year, so Jeff Capel has said he's kind of like a freshman. He was shooting 37% from 3 before his recent stretch where he missed them all.
He just made 2 free throws, and he was 0 for 5 from the line in conference play coming in.
It's a positive sign for Pittsburgh if they can get some production out of him.
But Georgia Tech, for as poorly as they've played, and they're down 16, there's still plenty of time left in this first half. They just have to take better shots and keep grinding away.
But there's certainly some common threads with the sloppiness we saw from Georgia Tech in the first half of Miami. Done into the pass. Another timeout called by Damon Stoudemire.
Pitt is just out hustling them at this point.
They look like the more desperate team.
Well, they're sure playing like it.
Well, I think they're a better team right now.
There's no doubt about that, Jim. Pitt shooting 59%. These high percentage looks in transition certainly help that. 18-point game. This is ACC Network's Thursday women's basketball doubleheader. Number 9 Louisville takes on Hannah Hidalgo, and number 23 Notre Dame at 6 Eastern. And then Duke hosts a good Virginia team at Cameron Indoor. Both games available on the ESPN app and live on the network.
So Pittsburgh is switching on everything, and that makes it very hard to get some plays. And then when it goes in low, they double the low post, so it makes it hard for them to score out of the low post double. And Dongo has to score for them to be a factor.
I think they announced the foul on Lamar Washington before, but that was clearly on Kraft. So Kraft with 1, Washington with no fouls. But that's really, you got to reach high for the silver linings of Georgia Tech right there. Oh, look at this hustle. Minor knocks it out of bounds, but he's really in Reeves' business.
Reeves is a guy who's really good off the dribble, but Georgia Tech doing a little too much dribbling right at the moment. They've got to move the ball, move the defense, and then attack off the dribble.
Davi Ramagin, the freshman from Germany, who's only played 5 games all season, getting some early minutes here as Damon Stoudemire searches for answers. Ramagin with a nice pass. And a late whistle, but I think the correct call.
Yep, absolutely. I don't like that late whistle. They'll call the foul when it happens.
It's on Cialepa, his first.
Well, they were able to get the defense to move. That drive into the lane causes the defense to collapse and creates a situation where Reeves can get the ball.
Reeves is averaging over 18 points per game in ACC play. And look, Georgia Tech has been competitive they certainly were competitive at Duke.
Well, they have been competitive, but there have been games where they've gotten off to poor starts, and then they battle back the whole time, and sometimes they just can't get all the way back. You know, they came back and had a chance against Syracuse.
Good hustle here. Washington, the steal, takes it from Witherspoon and gets 2.
See, that's too much dribbling in a one-on-one situation by Witherspoon.
They move the ball, they score. They dribble it, they usually don't score. There's another one.
Right on cue. Witherspoon does bail him out by knocking down the jumper.
They get lucky. It's nice to get lucky once in a while.
37-21, under 5 minutes to play in the first half.
So you got to get the ball to the other side of the court. Move it.
Washington bounce pass looking for Kerouac. He wasn't ready for it. And then Cialepa dribbles through the traffic and turns it over. Reeves dribbles through the traffic and loses it, but he got lucky and he'll get it back. Deflected out of bounds by Pittsburgh.
You'd like to say good defense, but I think it's really poor offense.
Well, you got to capitalize, as Pitt has done for the most part in the first half, on those transition opportunities, because if you miss them, that gives your opponent the opportunity to get out and go the other way.
Another
Why are they throwing
pass.
bounce passes to Kerouac? And again, they lose the ball in transition.
It's a pickup game right now. Reeves going back to the line.
I think the pickup players would be very upset with you.
Come on. You and I channel in different pickup games, that's for sure.
Well, this is a situation, you're a 7-foot guy, you just can't throw him the ball down there.
It's a low bounce pass, and he's still rolling. He's 10 feet from the basket. What's he going to do if he does catch it?
That's a good point.
Free throw in and out for Reeves. Cialepa did just pick up his second foul. He'll find a spot on the bench.
But again, Pitt is not deep, and so foul trouble is something they cannot afford. And Cialepa has played very well. He's got a couple of steals, he's made a couple of baskets.
Feels like everybody has a couple of steals.
Well, that's true. You got me there.
They don't, but it feels that way.
It does feel that.
So now Georgia Tech with some pressure, and Pitt has their 2 point guards in the game. This is a relatively small Pitt lineup, particularly a small backcourt.
Four minutes to play in the half. Cummings doubled. Somebody's open. Cummings, difficult, awkward shot. Decent defense from Ramagin. Dangerous pass, excellent hustle. And Indrisitis was fouled by Kwesi Reeves. There is a frantic pace to this first half.
Sunday, January 19th, the AT&T Countdown to the College Football Playoff National Championship on ESPN.
Our ACC Network crew has Miami covered before, during, and after the College Football Playoff National Championship game Monday against Indiana. All starts with Inside Access at 5 Eastern. ACC Huddle pregame show at 6. Then during the game, a field pass presentation with the crew on the sidelines, providing commentary and reactions. And then post-game, complete breakdown with coach and player interviews. How much fun is the ACC Network Huddle crew having with Miami's run? Hanging on the sidelines during the quarters, semis, and finals at these college football cathedrals.
Well, this is why Pitt is having fun, and why Georgia Tech is not. Those numbers tell the story.
That's a pretty good summation. Pitt has not been perfect by any means. DeMarco Minor misses that three, and Kerouac grabs the rebound.
Kerouac getting a lot of minutes here.
And we haven't seen Dongo for a while.
Well, I think that Damon Stoudemire is not pleased with the way Dongo has been playing.
Wasey Reeves, no. Kerouac got a tip, but could not convert. Minor into the forecourt. Intrasitis, he's back.
Wow.
He heard us talking about it.
That is a huge lift for the Pitt Panthers. That's why they got him, so he could make those type of shots.
He had been 0 for 12 in ACC play from field goal percentage-wise before tonight. Answer from Davi Remagen. It's his 5th bucket of the season for Remagen, the freshman from Germany, who's the great-nephew of Pele. And an answer for Pittsburgh, coming, showing he can make something beyond the teardrop.
He's full of confidence.
There's Pitt continuing to switch everything.
Oh, Reeves is getting more active. That's a goaltender.
Well, Reeves did a great job. They tried to switch, and he went to the basket. And that, I mean, that's good ball movement. The ball went from one side to the other, and then they got it to Reeves going to the goal.
Reeves has 7, but the deficit is still 17. How about this 43-point counting first half for the Pitt Panthers? Cummings dishes to the corner. Dunning missed the 3, rebound Kerouac. Georgia Tech looking downhill. Washington takes it.
Boy, when the ball doesn't go in, it's not fun.
Yeah, the game is much easier when the ball goes in the basket.
That was a good shot, good transition shot.
Pitt really likes to take the ball and attack off the dribble.
Cam Coran with a look of determination. Intrasitis, the stick back. 10 first half points for Noyes Intrasitis. Remagen rejected. Intrasitis comes up with a loose ball. Doesn't want to stand up and risk a travel. Smart play. Timeout, Jeff Capel. 22 on the shot clock, 43 left in the half.
Yeah, every time I use that timeout that you don't want to waste it, it ended up wasting because we made a bad play out.
That may be user error.
Yeah, that probably was. Poor play selection from the coach.
Coaches never want to waste anything.
No.
If they have something, they're going to use it.
I didn't use it. I stopped using it when I had a good movement going or a good sequence. And let's play it out. But it's smart to use it.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is going to be the 3rd time in 4 ACC games that Pitt's going to have a lead at halftime. I don't think they're going to blow the 19-point lead in the next 43 seconds.
Thanks, Evan. We needed that.
How can they finish things in the second half is the question.
Well, we already said it.
Well,
The game is much easier when the ball goes in the basket.
and they're moving the ball, and their defense is better, and their shooting's better. So, but what other category do we have here? They're topping all the categories.
We shall see.
Where they missed Corhead when he was open.
Like I said, that's what happens.
There you go. That's exactly what you're talking about. But feeding the ball inside to the post is a really hard thing to do. The post guy works hard to get open, and then he doesn't get the ball. And then when he does get the ball, he's covered and he turns it over.
And two things happen. The guard doesn't want to throw it in there, or he's not very good at it, knows it, and if he throws it away, the coach is going to be mad at halftime at him.
Pitt might see it again. About a 2.5-second difference. Game and shot clock. And a foul given by DeMarco Minor. It's his second.
Big foul charge for number 7, DeMarco Minor. His first.
Beg your pardon, that's his first. They changed one of them. So only one foul on Minor. See a left for the only Panther with 2.
Pitt still has another foul to give, but I'm not sure you want to do this with so few players.
Good point.
One thing you have to do is make sure the referees know you are going to foul. They will then look for it, which didn't happen in the Notre Dame game against Cal. And a 4-point shot. Well,
Whoa.
I forgot they didn't have fouls.
Grab to Kerouac. And he's fouled with 2 seconds left. And to your point, Dan, which is a really good one, that's 3 fouls picked up by 3 different Pitt players on this possession.
You want to foul and you think you're going to get the clock down. You almost did. It's great strategy. And when it works, it's great. When it doesn't work, it just doesn't work.
Minor and Cummings each picked up their first, and Dunning just picked up his second.
It's probably not that bad of a foul to foul Kerouac.
He's 0 for 3 now in his career.
Next substitution, number 7, Chaz.
But it also doesn't look like it's going in.
Well, you could witness history. His first collegiate made free throw. Nope, sorry.
But there's a foul. Is that
They
on
call it on
Corhead?
Corhead?
That's his second foul. He's picked up 2 fouls, the first foul, excuse me.
Yeah, they gave the last one to Dunning.
Okay, they gave the last one to Dunning.
That's his first, though, and that's...
And Jeff Capel is doing what I do all the time. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, Jeff Capel's guys have played extremely well, and he's now claiming that that's not the right guy at the free throw line.
Jim, speaking as a fan, sometimes it's hard to tell when the coach is upset with the refs versus upset with his players.
I never had a problem with that. I just went right to the referees and started yelling at them. And sometimes you're upset with your players, but generally you're in their area when you're upset with them. It's just part of the game. It's part of the fun part. Talking to the referees is fun, kind of part of the game. It doesn't go your way always, very seldom does. But good officials will talk to you. They're not going to give you a call, but they're going to at least let you know. Like, the one thing I always hated when they come over and say, you know, I missed that call, coach. Thanks.
Well, he missed the front end of the 1-on-1, so other than the foul on Corhead, no harm done. And that takes us to halftime. Pittsburgh 45, Georgia Tech 26. Panthers shoot 55% in the first half and lead by 19. Let's take you to the studio where Taylor Tannenbaum and Terrence Oglesby are settling in for a long night of ACC hoops. Welcome back to Midtown Atlanta, everybody. Triple header of ACC hoops, and we are halfway through game one. Pitt in control with the Hall of Famer Jim Boeheim, Dan Bonner. I'm Evan Lepler, courtside at McCamish Pavilion. Gentlemen, Pittsburgh wanted to be the more desperate team, and there's no question they played hard and they executed nicely in that first half.
Well, their defense was good. They turned defense into offense, and when you're not good on offense, that's what you have to do. And that's what we're going to look at here. They just made some steals, got down the court, got open shots, and you know when you get open shots, that's how you win.
Well, now the Pitt Panthers, they've got open twos and open threes, and it's all built on this defense. Now remember that Pitt against Miami had a 20-point run in the first half and led by 10 and lost that game. And here's the big lift for Pitt. Dunning and Andrew Saitis, those are big games for both of those guys.
Yeah, these guys have been absent for the most part in the league. Now you're talking 20 points out of them. That's pretty effective.
Pittsburgh 6 for 10 from 3 in the first half as well.
But Georgia Tech started poorly against Syracuse and battled all the way back in the game. Let's see if they can do the same thing. They got to get going early.
Yep.
Baidongo only played 9 minutes in the first half. He did not score. He is out there to start the second half. Kwesi Reeves cannot carve into the deficit. Dunning grabs the rebound.
And that's a tough shot, and that shot clock is running down. They didn't really get very much out of that, but if those are the kind of shots Reeves is going to shoot, he's going to have a tough night.
He's 2 for 8 after that miss. Minor kicks it. Zialepa front rims it. Rebound Fleming.
Really good sequence, just missed the shot.
Kai Fleming with another miss.
That was an odd-looking shot.
I thought he was thinking about passing it to Dongo, and then he just changed his mind.
2 points for Witherspoon. He made his only shot. Dishes to Dunning. Offensive rebound, Zialepa. Witherspoon reloads.
This has been Pitt's trouble. When they move the ball, they get really good looks, and they don't make the threes. All Georgia Tech's got to do is score, which has been very hard, and I'm not sure that they can score.
That was the third foul on Zialepa.
And so suddenly now Pittsburgh, which wasn't very big to begin with, gets much smaller.
Georgia Tech hasn't been able to take advantage with Dongo inside, so it probably helps their offense.
Well, Mosila is out tonight, and Georgia Tech's got nothing from Dongo. Can he change that here? Well, he's fouled, and that's going to be number 3.
3 on Dunning.
No, 2 on Dunning,
Two on
excuse me.
Dunning.
They've mixed and matched them. 2. Reeves flips it inside. Dongo over Corhen. Strong rebound by Corhen. Pitt staff wanted a foul on the board. Panthers have missed their first 3 shots in the second half. We showed you the graphic earlier of their first half, second half, 3-point disparity. There's a goaltend and a 2 credited for Brandon Cummings.
All they did was get the ball back to the other side,
Yes, they moved to
and
the
now
other
they
side.
hit a drive opportunity.
Well, I'm telling you, Pitt really likes to drive the ball, and Cummins, when he gets it, he's going to the basket.
Yeah, and the reason they like to drive the ball, I think, is they don't shoot very well from the break. So they need to drive the ball, and Georgia Tech does too.
No good for Reeves. Dongo on the glass gets his first points of the
He looks very lethargic.
He's out of sorts.
He just doesn't look with his normal movement. Maybe he had a bad night last night. Who knows?
You never know.
You never know.
Witherspoon, nice shot.
That's a good shot. Get down, get the little two. There's nothing wrong with a 2-point pull-up if you're not a good shooting team.
Foul. Minor raised his hand. Are they giving it to him? Yes.
Panthers foul charge to number 7, DeMarco
Number 2 on DeMarco Minor.
13th foul.
That's just a really nice drive. You get stops, you drive the defender back with the dribble, and then you go straight up in the air.
Witherspoon's a guy who's rounding out his game. He's really shot the ball well the last few weeks. 8 of his last 15 from 3 coming into tonight. Here's Mustaf. Tough 2.
Mustaf.
Get better ball movement, Georgia Tech did that time.
A little better.
This guy's hunting a shot.
Off Corin's leg.
I just don't think you can throw low bounce passes to big guys in the lane.
And they're in traffic, too. He's got the angle, take the ball and score. That's what he does. As you were just saying, he's looking for a shot. I'd rather see him take a shot than make that pass.
Well, if he takes a shot, Corhen's in pretty good position for a rebound.
Dongo too strong with the left. Staying with it. And a foul called inside. Jeff Capel thought it was a jump ball just like Barry Dunning.
Well, I think Jeff Capel also thought that Akai Fleming went over somebody's back in there.
That's number 3 on Dunning. So here comes Noyes and Drasitis back in.
So Dunning is trying to get the jump ball, but he's got a lot of arm in there.
Mostly.
Washington had nowhere to go. Well defended by the Panthers.
They got an advantage here.
Corhen. Give me a block.
Boy, I never liked that pass when you throw it to a guy from behind you, a big guy, and he's got to go that far. You're setting him up to charge.
At least it wasn't a bounce pass, though.
Yeah, he caught it.
Now you got to have your position established before the guy plants that last foot.
Yeah.
And he just didn't get there.
That's another rule. We were talking with one of the referees before the game, and the rules are so hard this year. The timeout rules and so many things just don't fit the college game very well.
Corhen makes them both, and he joins Drasitis and Dunning in double figures. They all have 10. 4 minutes into the second half. Dongo has shown up.
Pitt has continued to switch those screens, and finally Dongo has taken advantage of the mismatch that those screens create, those switches create.
They need to run that every time, throwing the ball. That's their best opportunity, best chance to score. And if Pitt doubles, then maybe they'll get an open look.
Feed in the post, Corhen for 2.
Boy, that's a great entry pass by Drasitis.
Really good.
Fleming gives it up. Washington looking back door, knocked away. It'll be Pittsburgh ball. Felt like a rugby scrum for a minute, but Roman Cialepa unfortunately was on the bench for Pittsburgh. Dongo's getting involved. That's good news for Georgia Tech. The bad news, they're still down by 21 thanks to a shot like that by Cam Corhen. good things have happened for Pittsburgh tonight when they've gotten it inside to number 2.
Well, Cam Corhead comes in as their leading scorer, and he has done about everything you'd want your big guy to do. He has started the game out really running well on offense. He's been able to score in the low post on post moves, and he's got 4 steals. He's just had an outstanding game.
Here's the list of players in the ACC averaging 13 and 8. It's a pretty good list.
You think?
You can see the Tar Heels at 9 o'clock on ACC Network. At Stanford, you can see Cameron Boozer and the Duke Blue Devils at 11 p.m. Eastern. Stay up late like Coach Boeheim and watch the 11 p.m.
We'll watch them all. And then go to the airport.
Pittsburgh, slow start to the second half. They missed their first 3 shots, but they have responded. They've made their last 3 field goal attempts. Panthers looking for their first ACC win of the season. An air ball there from Brandon Cummings.
They have played at their best when they have gotten movement, and there wasn't a lot of movement. You know, Cummings bounced the ball way too much before they even started to try to do anything.
No action in that pick at all.
And at this end for Georgia Tech, it's just been a strange, bizarre evening for the most part. Good hands there from Indricitis.
Well, part of it's good defense. Give Pitt some credit
For
too.
sure.
They have played very aggressively. And the thing they've done particularly aggressively, Jim, you've talked about it, they're switching everything. And if you're going to do that, you have to be aggressive, because if you're not, then the other team can take advantage. But their aggressiveness has really disrupted the Georgia Tech offense.
Taking them out of everything they're doing.
Speaking of aggressive, this guy.
I'm not sure Washington actually hit Cummings there, but he got called for the foul. It's his first.
Cummings was trying to push off.
Robbie Vermagen is back in, as is Chaz Kelly.
Chaz Kelly's played pretty well in recent games for Georgia Tech off the bench, and they need a spark like that tonight. Here it comes.
Cummings, 2 more.
You better get in front of him, because if you don't, he's going past it.
He's the 4th Panther in double figures, and Cam Kraft answers from the corner, his second 3 of the night. Cam Kraft is a guy who scored 40 points in a Division I college basketball game before. So if he gets hot, look out.
Well, you got to make him dribble the ball.
Different levels.
Rounding out this time for Cummings. Kraft the rebound. Washington had 12 assists at Miami on Saturday. That's his 3rd assist of the night tonight.
Now that's a tough play against pretty good defense, that they were able to drive the ball inside.
Cam Corhead throws it down.
How about the game Indricitis has having? That's a couple of assists now.
He's a different player than what he's been so far in the league.
Jeff Capel has insisted to anyone who would listen. Nice block there by Corhan Ondongo. That Indricitis is a good player that had just lost his confidence. They said we need him. Pittsburgh playing with great confidence tonight.
Now that wasn't a steal, that was a blocked shot. But again, you get the blocked shot, you keep it in play, that gives you transition opportunity. And Pitt continues to make Georgia Tech pay in transition.
This is Georgia Tech's largest deficit of the entire season. Dongo spinning through traffic and gets to the free throw line.
Now you have to admire Dongo's aggressiveness, but he had 5 guys around him. And here's Pitt off and running again. Defense can't get set. That guy is, I mean, he's been very dangerous over the last 2 games. You got to get out to him.
Dongo, he just doesn't have any energy, it seems like to me, watching him. He just had 26 against Syracuse, and he was moving all over the court.
They did call the foul on Corhen. It's his 3rd.
Again, you know, it's
3 Panthers with 3 fouls.
there's still a lot of time left in the game. And Mullen is coming back in, and Cornet's going to come out. And Mullen, I thought, made a big contribution in the first half. He didn't score, but he had a couple of rebounds in 4 minutes and allowed Corhen to take some time on the bench. I think he's going to have to play well here in the second half.
One of the common things we've heard from Damon Stoudemire is that his players need to get lost in the little things. Focus.
Well, they are lost. They're just.
I teed that one up for you.
I know. I didn't take. I feel bad, but you know, they make too many mistakes and they're not doing anything good on offense, and they're not getting good shots.
Intrasitis. How about the offensive rebound for Mullen? And it will stay Pitt ball.
He battled for it.
Well, he did, and that was the key. Because he battled for it, Georgia Tech couldn't squeeze it, and so now Pitt gets the ball again.
Tough spot to inbound, but he gets it into Cummings. Minor saw crease, kicks it, Cummings resets, and the rebound for Dongo.
You reset like that.
Too
You're
much.
not gonna make it.
Too much time.
Mustaf to Kraft. Good closeout by Witherspoon.
That's what you do. You need to make Kraft dribble.
Remage.
Oh, here you go.
Finds a Pitt Panther, and it's Brandon Cummings. Pitt coaches were saying how it wasn't over the back, and they get a free 2 from it.
But just a lack of concentration there by Georgia Tech. There were 3 guys, none of them picked up the ball, and Cummings took it.
And they're going to call that reach-in foul on Cummings. He clearly got a lot of ball. He smacked it away.
That's usually not a foul, I would think.
That's number 2 on Brandon Cummings, and it takes us to the under 12 timeout with 11:07 to play. Brandon Cummings had 29 on Saturday in a loss, but he's got 16 right now, and Pitt is cruising on the road. It's a full night of hoops here on the ACC Network. Coming up, triple header rolls on at Maples Pavilion. Stanford and number 14, North Carolina. Caleb Wilson and company starting their Bay Area week. And then the Duke Blue Devils are out on the West Coast as well. They'll take on Cal at 11 p.m. Eastern. Both games live on ACCN and available on the ESPN app. It'll be a fun matchup. Wilson versus Okori.
Well, they won't be going head-to-head, but
Might get a switch at some point.
if they do, Okori's going right past him. But of course, Wilson can follow him and block the shot.
He's pretty talented.
Oh boy!
Remember, Stanford only won 2 ACC road games last year. One of them was at Cal. The other was in Chapel Hill at the Dean Dome.
They're improved. Both California teams are improved.
Georgia Tech goes inside Dongo. He forces it up and gets the balance to go his way.
I thought Mullen did a pretty good job. Dongo just made a better play.
Might have been anyone.
Pittsburgh still leads by 21 points. Cummings is their leading scorer tonight, and Indrusitis' offense off the bench has been a huge bonus.
Well, that was really disjointed until the end.
Till the end, he made a nice pass, but also it was set up. He made a nice cut to the open space and got an open shot and made it. That's what you have to do sometimes.
Dongo gets 2 more. He's got all 8 of his points here in the second half.
Well, Corhen is out of the game because he's got 3 fouls, and Dongo has a real advantage in there.
Now 10 points for Dongo, I'll correct myself. That wasn't going to go anywhere good for Pittsburgh.
But Georgia Tech with the pressure, Pitt didn't react very well to it.
Cummings tried to give the take foul. They didn't call it. Georgia Tech gets the 3 from Chaz Kelly III.
Long way to go. Probably too much to overcome, but you gotta give them a fight, and that's what they're gonna try to do.
Cummings rising fire for 3.
That's the danger of trying to press. That if you get the ball, if your opponent gets the ball down the court quickly, they get an advantage situation, they get an open 3.
And you have to run it, Kelly. Make somebody else shoot the ball.
For Georgia Tech. And Kraft in double figures.
And Jeff Cape was not happy with that. He's telling his players they got to make Kraft dribble the ball.
Next whistle, the 3 Panthers with 3 fouls are coming back. Cummings rejected by Dongo. Outlet pass deflected, but caught by Kelly anyway. That 3 could have cut it to 16, but he misfired.
Got to keep fighting, and that's what Georgia Tech's doing.
How you feel about that shot?
Well, good shot, open shot, transition.
Offensive foul.
Foul on Kieran Mullen for the illegal screen.
First, 17 foul. Back in the floor with the
Corhen, Dunning, and Cialeppa are all back in, all with 3 fouls.
If you're Georgia Tech, you have to continue to attack. And those guys with 3 fouls, they know they have to be a little bit less aggressive, and so Georgia Tech has a window here. There's a long way to go, but there's still enough time left in the game.
Well, you got to just take it in 3-4 minute period. They got to try to cut it down to 10 or 12, and that's not going to be easy, but that might help.
Kraft just found it. He's on fire right now, folks.
You knew that was going. You knew that was going right out of the timeout. Perfect screen, wide open.
More pressure from the Yellow Jackets. And just getting it across before the 10 count. Alley-oop style pass from Cummings from the backboard to get it over. Shot clock's down to 9. How about the night that Noyes Indrusitis has put together?
Well, that was a big, big shot because you could feel the momentum maybe starting to switch.
Indricitis matching his season and career high, and he had never scored in an ACC basketball game before tonight. We get ourselves a timeout with 7:44 to go. Georgia Tech making a charge thanks to Cam Kraft, but Noyes Indricitis. Money, his 4th 3 of the night. Pittsburgh in front by 19 here at McCamish Pavilion. And remember the name, Noyes Indricitis. He has given fans a reason to know who he is tonight.
That's a hard name to forget. No, he's played really well tonight. And he played well in the non-conference part of the schedule. He made some shots, had 16 earlier in the season. And Cam Kraft, 4 for 5 from beyond the arc. That's the only reason that Georgia Tech is as close as they are.
Kraft made 97 threes last year at a 43% clip. He's been struggling until tonight. Georgia Tech gets it in, and Donko fouled by Corhen, who cannot believe the whistle.
That's 4.
Can't let him get position inside there. That's what Coach.
Well, and if you do let him get position, you got to understand that you can't foul him. You got to step back.
Yeah. You just can't let him get that.
And that's something that, you know, the referees are looking for that. You put your hands straight up near, but you move your hips into the guy. You're not fooling anybody.
That's the one place I like their zone defense the most is under out of bounds. It's very hard to score, and you see people score all the time against man-to-man.
Well, now Pitt has elected to go very small. The guy going to play in the post is the 6'6" Cialepa.
Better ball handlers. I hope that's what they're thinking. It's good to get the ball down, get good shots, get some open threes.
Timeout Pittsburgh. Georgia Tech with some good pressure in the backcourt.
You have to bring that extra guy up. They're trying to get open with 2 guys.
Yellow Jackets have led by as many as 24. Or trailed by as many as 24. Closest has been in a while. Welcome back to McCamish Pavilion, mid-January ACC Hoops here in Atlanta. Damon Stoudemire has fond memories of January 14th. It was 31 years ago tonight. He scored a college career-high 45.
Who put that
It was
up
against
there?
Stanford. It was not against Syracuse, Jim. Sorry.
Thank you.
It was against Stanford at Maples Pavilion. Still a Maples Pavilion record for a visiting player. And then 10 years after that, 21 years ago tonight, he scored 54 against the Hornets.
Well, we played Arizona in '95 and we beat them, I believe. So
he didn't get 45 against you.
So he didn't get 45. They got another trap. They almost got it.
Pitch gets it across just in time. Cummings doesn't get the call though, and it's a stop for the Jackets.
You can't take tough shots like that. You need to beat the press. You have to make them pay for pressing you.
Good hands from Indrositis. His fine night continues. And then Dunning, fortunate to get that to go because Jeff Capel was ready to erupt if he dropped it out of bounds.
Well, there was a good hand down there, but it was holding Georgia Tech player arm. That's the only problem.
Pitt back up 19. Kraft, short. Indrositis, active. As memorable as those 2 January 14th scoring games were for Damon, this is random, but Georgia Tech hasn't won a basketball game in their last 6 tries on January 14th. They've lost their last 6 games on this day on the calendar.
Who finds that stuff out?
People with a lot of time on their hands, Jim. Indrositis. Not this time. Rebound for Ramagin.
Now you got to stop. You got to get a score.
A little spin, a dish, and Dongo had it dislodged out of bounds. It'll be Georgia Tech ball.
Those are the plays you've got to make. You catch the ball down there and you let a guy knock it away. You got to grab it, turn, and dunk it. It's just, he's off tonight, just physically and mentally.
Good defense on Kraft, forcing him to dribble.
He has trouble when he has to dribble. That's why Coach Capable is saying, make him put it on the floor.
Feels good as a coach when they listen, right?
Yes.
Now, if you're Pitt, you don't want to get overly conservative here.
Shot clock down to 7. Minor. Oh, good rebound. Roman Cialepa inside. Counted in one.
Cialepa. Second foul charge number 14 for Wasey Reeves is 7.
I mean, Georgia Tech has tried to go with a smaller lineup to match the Pitt smaller lineup, but Georgia Tech doesn't have anybody in the game that can deal with that guy inside.
No, they're trying to pressure and try to get steals, and that's what you're trying to do. But Pittsburgh's got pretty good ball handlers too. They're making some mistakes, but they're not going to make enough.
Really nice job by Cialepa moving his feet right there.
Got the pick and roll, it doesn't work.
Ramagin with a beautiful pass. Dongo lays it in. Excuse me, Reeves lays it in.
Dongo's resting.
Foul in the backcourt.
Second foul charge
It's on Mustaf.
That's only the 4th team foul against Georgia Tech. They can afford to be very aggressive. And what makes that play is Ramagin is able to get past the perimeter defense. And you break down that defense, you force people to come and help you create those kinds of plays.
Ramagin only had 3 assists all season. He's got 2 tonight. Ticking toward 5 minutes left here in Atlanta. Four different Panthers in double figures. Cummings leading the way. Cialepa on his way. He's down at 9.
Can't do anything with him down there. He's just too physical.
6'6", 220 pounds.
Whoa. Intrasitis down hard, tumbling over Kwesi Reeves' shoulders.
Well, he fell right on his tailbone.
Panthers foul charge number 25.
The foul was on him, but it adds literally insult to injury when you're announced for the foul and you're the one down on your back.
Well, it's why they call it hardwood. It's not a good place to fall. He's a pretty tough kid.
Substitution for the Panthers, number 2, Cameron Corbin.
It's been a good night for Noyes Intrasitis. 22 minutes off the bench, 16 points, 5 of 9, 4 of 6 from 3. He's also got 4 rebounds, 3 assists.
1 and 1.
He's been active defensively.
When Pitt got him out of the portal, that's the kind of thing they were hoping that he would be able to do. Not score 16 points every night, but to give him the spark off the bench, and he certainly has done that tonight.
Got some blood on his arm. Battle wound.
The arm's going to feel okay. That backside might hurt tomorrow.
Back to the floor for the Jackets.
Dongo's coming back in, fellas. 4:38 to play in a 19-point game.
Panthers still have to handle the ball here.
They've only turned it over 8 times. 3 in the second half. There's number 4 in the second half, number 9 overall.
You know, when you're going to commit a turnover, you shouldn't do it when you're standing right in front of your coach.
Better to throw it out of bounds than throw it to the other team inbounds. Silver linings.
Whatever you're doing, not right in front of the coach. They make good plays right in front of the coach.
2 more ACC games coming up tonight here on the network. Davi Ramadan, short.
Now that time he wasn't able to get past the defense. Pitt sees control early, and they just haven't lost it.
No. They're just running the plays, run the offense. If they score, they score. If they don't, doesn't matter. Just run the clock out.
Reach and foul on Ramadan. We'll reset the shot clock to 20 if the Panthers are not yet in the bonus. Our final meeting and timeout with 3:44 to go. Pitt by 19.
The Miami Hurricanes head home to play for a championship. Touchdown, Indiana! Electric! It's what every little kid dreams of.
The CFP National Championship, presented by AT&T, kicks off Monday, January 19th at 7:30 p.m.
It's been a good night for the Pitt Panthers on the road here in Atlanta, and Roman Cialeppa only has played 20 minutes because of some foul trouble, but he's been very active and productive when he's been out there.
Well, productive is the word for it. He's got 9 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 assists. He's got in some foul trouble early.
He's not that big, but he's been physical and hurt them inside.
The other thing is the Panthers, they come into this game shooting 25% as a team from three-point range in conference play. They made a total of 17 threes in the first 3 games. They've made 10 tonight.
Their 5th time this season making double-digit threes. Shot clock winding down. Cialeppa, another rebound. And that's a goaltender. So Cialeppa's into double figures, and he's closing in on a double-double.
You know, it's not like he's built like George McGinnis or somebody.
No.
I mean, but he uses his body very, very well.
Strong play.
He embraces contact because he grew up playing rugby.
Rugby, physical sport.
Boy, there's another steal.
Georgia Tech's 15th turnover.
And the 12th steal by the Panthers.
I don't know if it's fair to say they lead the ACC in turnovers or they're last in the ACC in turnovers. Either way, it's not good. Tough finish there. Cummings with 21 on the night.
Pitt just has been the aggressor all night long, and Georgia Tech now backing off a little bit.
Yellow Jackets head up to Raleigh for a new tip-off against Will Wade's Wolfpack on Saturday.
A team that likes to push it and score points. Not a good team for Georgia Tech.
Packer off tonight.
Well, and there's another steal.
It's hard to call them steals because they almost are just giving them the ball. So I don't know.
There's no category for gives.
That's like if the bank,
no gift category.
If the bank robber didn't have to even go in, they just brought him out the money. I mean, I don't know if that's stealing.
Pitt had a season high 14 steals against Binghamton. They got 12 steals tonight. It's their second most in a game this season.
Substitution number 8, Cole Kirak.
But Georgia Tech, and they cut it to 17, and it looked like they had a little momentum. There's
a foul on Cialeppa.
Georgia Tech.
That's his fourth.
Well, it's academic now, but Georgia Tech made a little bit of a run, but then Andrew Saitis hit a big three, and that stopped it. It's got to be very frustrating for Damon Stoudemire that, his guys, they, much like they did against Syracuse, they just started very, very slowly. And as you've mentioned, they've competed very well against some of the top teams in the conference, but, this was not the kind of performance Damon Stoudemire was looking for.
The gymnastics season is underway, and this is our first ACC Network meet. Sunday afternoon, number 13 Stanford squares off against number 11 North Carolina. Carmichael Arena in Chapel Hill. Coverage begins 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. It's also available on the ESPN app. I was going to say get ready for the Olympics by watching some ACC gymnastics. Of course, it's the Winter Olympics that are coming up.
And the gymnastics aren't in there.
No.
And Lindsey Vonn is winning events at 41. He's like LeBron James, I guess.
We shall see. A legend.
That's some pass.
Oh, Dunning throws it down for the exclamation point for Pittsburgh. Dunning's got 14. Andrusaitis has 16. Corhen's got 15. Cummings 21. Cialeppa 11.
Well, pretty nice game by Cummins coming off 29 to get 21. And he was aggressive from the get-go. They bring him off the bench, and boy, it's such a luxury as a coach to be able to bring somebody off the bench that's going to give you that kind of offense.
He didn't have a good night. He missed shots that he can make. That's how crazy it is. He looks like the guy that can do this all the time. He's very shifty with the ball. He gets by people. He can shoot the three, and he's got the floater. That's a pretty well-rounded game.
Jeff Capel talked about how he was injured over the summer, Cummings, and he started playing well. Then he rolled his ankle in practice, getting ready for their 3rd game of the year, and that kind of disrupted his rhythm in non-conference.
He's looked very good the last few games.
Well, whatever disruption that had occurred to his rhythm, it appears to have been eliminated.
Indeed.
Yes.
29 on Saturday, 23 tonight. Nobody stopped Gustav, who's padding his stats. Pittsburgh just needs to get it across midcourt and take 30 seconds off the clock and get ready for a happy flight back home to face the Louisville Cardinals on Saturday night.
Louisville's been a little bit of a slide too.
Kelly fumbles the rebound out of bounds, and in that, a microcosm of the night.
That encapsulates the night for Georgia Tech. Just can't hang on to the ball when there's nobody around it.
That is not a steal.
No.
Is there a giveaway?
Yeah, it's called a turnover.
Yeah, that's true. Same thing. But sometimes a turnover isn't that bad. A giveaway would be even worse, I think, than a turnover. You can eat a turnover.
I will put you on the rules committee.
Dunning adds to his night. He's got 17 points now, and Jeff Capel takes a timeout to get Makari Moore into the game for the first time since December 21st. Freshman from Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Well, he takes out Minor. Minor had a really solid game tonight. You know, he did not give up the ball. He had 6 assists. He only scored 3 points. But he just did a really nice job handling the ball.
Second chance for Georgia Tech, but time is short. Pittsburgh going to improve to 54-2 when they score 80 under Jeff Capel. They've won their last 31 games when they score 80. And the shot clock is off.
Pretty impressive defense from Pitt tonight. They did a really good job keeping people in front of them, and they made some really nice plays, especially transition basketball.
Cool handshake with Indrisitis and Capel. A cathartic performance tonight for the Pitt Panthers as they shoot 53% on the road, make 11 threes, and win by 23 over Georgia Tech.
Very impressive performance, and Jim's absolutely right. It was, I think, based on the fact that Pitt took control of the game defensively, and then, of course, it helps when you make 11 threes.
Panthers have won 5 of their last 6 against Georgia Tech. That includes 3 straight wins on trips to McCamish Pavilion. As I mentioned, Georgia Tech heads to NC State on Saturday. Pitt heads back home to take on Louisville. Stick around on the ACC network. Stanford and North Carolina coming up in just a few minutes.